On this week's episode of the Superhero Show, we'll find out if everyone finds love in the season finale of Heartstopper, if the taste buds figure out if the new Netflix show is called One Piece or One Punch or Peace Punch, and if Mike can figure out if siblings can be on a podcast with the sisters assembled. All of that and more on an all-new episode of the Superhero Show. What's up, nerds? Welcome to the Superhero Show, the only show on the internet that reviews every single live-action television show based on a comic book, as well as some of the animated ones, as well as just any show we fucking want to do, you guys. We're just gonna do it. We're gonna do whatever show we want, as long as two people agree on it, we'll cover it. That's what we come into a conclusion about.
Hey, Cassie, do you want to do Ahsoka?
Fuck yeah, I do. Let's spend this whole hour talking about Ahsoka. Caitlin?
Yeah?
What do you think about Ahsoka?
I think it's a really good show, Cassie, and I'm not biased at all.
I think it would be, our show should just switch over to covering just that. We should be an Ahsoka podcast.
Ahsoka Show?
Fuck yeah. It sounds like that Rina Sawayama song.
It's a good song.
And I'm very surprised we have two co-hosts who are just staying silent during all of this while death staring us down. First of all, there's Ryan.
No, continue. Have an intelligent conversation about a show that has no intelligence that comes with it.
Great. Oh! Caitlin.
Just women, so.
But Caitlin, you remember those sabers?
Mm-hmm.
You remember the sound they make? Rad.
Really
fucking
cool.
Rad.
Really fucking
You remember, spoilers, whales?
Oh, I remember those floating whales, Cassie.
Fucking rad.
And I remember the power of women.
Let's go fucking women.
Yeah.
Mike, comments?
All whales float.
Is this Star Trek 4? Comments? No, I do like your imitation of what you think intelligence sounds like. That was adorable.
Thank you.
What sound do the laser swords make? Vroom, vroom.
I've been working on it.
We're just really taking good notes from you guys.
Yeah.
I don't love that you're like, let's talk about women and start talking about whales. That seems rude and sexist.
Women can be whales too, Mike. It's 2023. Pull your head out of your ass, bro.
Mike and I are not gonna review Ahsoka, but we just reviewed Ahsoko. We both just poured a giant glass of Southern Comfort and we pounded it, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, that's a bad choice.
Disagree. It's my new addiction. True story.
Oh, no.
I once decided to drink a bottle of Soko and just that in a night, and I puked brown almond liquor all over the place all night.
Have you been able to drink it since?
No, I've never tried. Also, it's disgusting. Why would anybody drink that?
Well, okay. All right. Bold opinions here. Ryan, I'm sorry I didn't start off with you. I feel like the flow is messed up and I feel like you're angry now.
I'm not angry. I'm not angry because the flow is messed up. Like, my point has been proven. You start with me, the show rules. You don't start with me, it's an absolute fucking train wreck. Like, you have ruined this episode. New listeners, unsubscribe.
Dang.
No, Ryan, no. That is like cutting off your nose to spite your face. You know what? I mean, I have some issues with this intro, but I liked how not scatological it's been so far.
I just shit my pants.
Oh, there we go. You asked for it.
I'm gonna fuck one of those lady whales.
Oh no! What?
It's the new sexy gremlin.
Oh wait, Caitlin, can you
we
answer?
joke about a lot of things. Nothing replaces sexy gremlin.
Her name is Greta. First of all, she has a name.
Well, if I said Greta, she wouldn't know what I meant.
And of course, her name starts with GR, just like the word gremlin does. Caitlin, can you tell us what the things on Ahsoka's head are?
Leiku.
Okay. Can you tell us though what they are?
It's a Leiku, so it's like her part of her head.
Is Leiku like Ferengi? Like, so in Ferengi, you rub their ears and that's how they get sexually turned on? Do you just like jerk
it's
the
not
Leiku
Avatar,
off?
Mike. It's Star Wars.
Ferengi is from Star Trek, you fucking... I ran of all insults.
It was about to get nasty.
some reason I wanted to call you a pedophile. My brain's like, that's not right. That's not the right insult for this.
You know, I say call her it.
Yeah. If you watch Star Wars, you're a pedophile.
No, if you think Star Trek is Avatar, you're a pedophile.
Well, you guys, we won't be talking about any of these shows because we got to talk about comic book shit as much as we want to talk about Star Wars things and Star Treks. We do have to talk about Harley Quinn.
We get to talk about it.
We get to. We have the honor, the joy, and the privilege.
Rest in peace, Arlene Sorkin, the OG Harley Quinn.
Wow.
She died this week.
Damn, Mike, I just fucked up an intro, and you're going to come at me with an in memoriam?
Okay, in memoriam. Every time you fuck up, I will list off another person who died. I know it sounds like I'm killing them, but I'm not.
Oh, no.
There's nothing literally worse for my anxiety than me feeling like I'm causing more people to die with every time I can't speak.
Cassie stuttered a little bit, and then Mike comes in like a diehard villain.
Another person will die each time. But yeah, later on, Harley Quinn, My Adventures with Superman, also Spider-Man the Animated Series. But before we get to all of that, the Heartstopper finale. On the season finale of Heartstopper, it's prom day and Nick starts the day off by coming out on Instagram and announces Charlie as his boyfriend. Darcy opens up to Tara about her broken home. Tao and Elle make it official. Isaac accepts his asexuality. Charlie opens up about being bullied to Nick, and now they really want to say they love each other. Taste buds, I ask you this. How do you feel about a show that is happy and gay and doesn't have a heartbreaking ending?
Yay.
Yeah, a heartbreaking ending wouldn't make people want to keep watching next season. We have to, in 3 years, we'll get Heartstopper Season 3, and is Charlie going to say I love you via Instagram message? Is, I think, a better hook than a heartbreaking ending. Nut up, sneak out of your window and tell him in person, Charlie. God damn it.
The way
Run back.
It was literally, you're still right there. It's insane to think to send it over
These
a message.
pussies are like, well, my mom's going to come home and I have a curfew. Grow up, Gen Z, and break some fucking rules. Do some speed and tell each other I love you in face to face.
I don't think it was the curfew. I think it was the we speak through phone. Only.
That's why I'm saying nut up and don't.
And also do
Look
speed.
each other in the eyes and say I love you.
And do lots of
And do speed, of course.
Do speed. Say that you love him. Do speed. Kiss. Do speed. Drive a car. Do speed. Drink some
Kill your
Southern
brother.
Comfort.
Now we're going to get to the tragic territory. I think we're going down the wrong here.
Yeah, we're writing season 3 right now. We're scabs.
We're scabs. Do you guys still have the feeling or the fear when you're watching it that there'll be a moment that is devastating, or like
It would be such a betrayal of the tone of the show.
Yeah.
I am rooting for it, and it's not because I don't like the characters. I am looking for a little bit of drama in my show without any jokes whatsoever. Mm-hmm. That like something would happen, and I think in this episode we get a little bit of it. Where is it? Tara or Darcy?
Darcy
Is stepping up to Tara's house.
No,
Tara
Tara stepping up to Darcy's house. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh no. And that feeling that I got, it made me realize this is the most amount of like anxiety that I really ever get in this show. Mm-hmm. And I don't need it, but a little bit more of it might be nice.
What I'm getting sick of 2 seasons in is it doesn't need to be like Marissa's almost dead in an alley kind of drama. No show can touch that. But
is that the OC, Mike?
It's the OC, Ryan.
Uh-huh.
Anytime a character fucks up, they go, hey guys, they don't even always say I'm sorry. They just show up again a few minutes later and then everyone hugs them. I don't know. Have a fight. Can you have a fucking fight? Can we be mad? Yes, it's sad that Darcy comes from a broken home. That doesn't excuse her being a shit for the last week. Can we not all hug her? Can we at least have a fight before we all hug? God damn it.
Yeah, I think it was last week or the episode before where I was like, I fucked up and like maybe I was too quick to judge Darcy and everybody else was like, fuck you, fuck her. She sucks. She's a bitch. Sorry, guys.
Are you sure we weren't talking about Tao?
Yeah, that makes more sense. Because, I mean, she showed up, like, she clearly slept in, like, a park. Like, she had a bad time. You tell me you're going to pop off on a friend who is clearly...
We all have slept in a park.
But her mom kicked her out / left. Like, right, like, it's that weird teenage thing of, like, I don't know if you kicked me out, but, like, you kicked me out.
I'd look like a lesbian if I dressed in that, so yeah, I'm going to leave.
And so to the point where I have to leave. And so she slept in a park all night, and she could have gone to Tara's house, and she didn't. And a part of that is like a little bit of teenage drama. A part of it is like, I don't want to burden anybody with my problems. But she had a great opening line of like, I thought the theme of the prom was Fight Club or something like that, or like vampires. That's pretty good to like walk in all stinky and bloody, and that's how you introduce yourself to your friends.
Funny. I do like the through line. What the show is, I think, getting better at is Tara and Nick are clearly the superior in their relationships. They're great and can do no wrong, and they're with two people who are trying to hide anything that's wrong in their life because they need it to be perfect. And so both Tara and Nick, to Charlie and Darcy respectively, are like, hey, I want all of you. Don't do this bullshit where you try to pretend to be happy. It's not. Let's really be with each other.
It's not that they're obsessed with movies, but it's like they're sort of obsessed with movies. Like they sort of just want to be this movie character. They want to have this movie romance only, and never bring their baggage or dirt to their significant other's doormat, right? And like that's just not realistic. That's just not how it's going to work.
It's definitely, and I think that's what's making, like, it's hard to get the tone of the show now, because, like, they're touching these real moments, but also nothing gets really resolved or, like, dug into. It's, like, always ending with, like, a hug or a happy moment with, like, him saying, you're so amazing, and a giant hug. Like, everything is just, like, you're amazing, it's amazing.
I think we have so many shows, though, that are, like, you can find all the trauma and the drama at. I feel like this is just a fun show where we can actually just live in a little gay, happy world, and it's fun, and all the teachers are gay, all the students are gay, everyone's happy. Sure, apparently it was bad back before we started watching this. Like, there was the bullying of Nick, or of Charlie, but we never got to see that, and now we're seeing all this happiness. So I don't know. It's just
that's
fun
a really
watching
interesting
a happy
point.
Show.
And like the animation adds to that, of this
right.
being like this fantasy world that we can live in for 30 minutes a week.
The future liberal cucks want. Everybody's gay. But I think if you're going to be happy and gay, do it, because if you're going to talk about cutting and it be this weightless, because that's what it doesn't have heft. It doesn't have, people are saying it because it's a line, versus there's some scenes where it feels lived in and real. But when Charlie's taught, like, that's some pretty heavy shit. And it just feels light and fluffy as everything else in the show is.
That's sort of my issue, too, is that with the cutting and I'm so, like, hesitant about talking about this, but, like, with the cutting and with the Isaacness of it all about, oh, you know what we haven't done? Asexuality. Let's throw it on there. Like,
I feel the asexuality's been established, though. That's been a thing.
Cassie and I called this out a long time ago.
For sure.
He was definitely going to be asexual. Like, that was...
I know, but it's like that we all live in this world. So, like, I am going more towards Caitlin's point of, like, where we have this group where we get to just live in this world where it's all established. But when we watched the first episode of the second season, I had said, like, my fear is that is this show just going to be about how everyone's identity is finding their sexual identity? Like, is that all that there is to them? And so that's sort of like where I was throughout this season.
Because Ryan, Charlie likes neon bright music.
Isaac
likes reading. So there's clearly more.
But it is also still about their gay-ass little found family. Like, at the end of the day, they always come back to each other, and their happiest moments are, like, when they're together.
And Elle likes art, but, like, what is her art? Like, this is, like, I'm grasping onto, like...
All right. Her art was not good enough to be on
display.
Those
clouds, though, that she painted at the prom, pretty good.
Those clouds were good.
Okay, so she is prom cafeteria dance level artist.
Also, did you guys know how many fucking let's put a dance together tropes there were until you watched this episode? Because this episode had literally every single one of them. Every single one, like...
Were they? It felt like they were making fun of people when they got in a paint fight. They're like, "Is this what you want, idiots?"
And I hated it because it was Tao, obviously. But like, if Tao put paint on my body, oh man,
I'd break his solar plexus. I actually legit enjoyed Tao and Nick having just like a human conversation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For the first time. I don't know if these characters ever have. And that scene, probably my favorite in this episode for sure. And definitely my favorite Tao episode because it felt like he finally took the Tao mask off. And he's like, I'm just going to be a dude. Like, I'm just going to chat. Like,
did you just come up with the phrase Tao episode?
He absolutely
the Tao
did.
episode. And now I'm going to write my book, The Tao of Tao.
But Nick has this amazing, or the actor who plays Nick has this amazing way of when Tao says, well, I thought that you always hated me. Nick says like, and then they move on. He continues the conversation, but he clearly did because Tao's awful.
But he's grown now, guys. And also,
Well, he
his
cut
suit
his hair.
was rad as hell.
hair.
Him and Elle's coordination at that prom fucking killed it.
She probably
And then, of
painted
course-
that suit.
Yeah.
Elle and Tao get the classic prom moment of everybody giving them the dance circle so
It's-
they can fucking rock out.
Yep.
Right before they did that, I was like, no, it's too crowded to dance. Bitch, what?
They're
That's what
so-
you want out of a dance floor. You don't want it sparse. What are you talking about? Also, you then went into the emptiest part of a room. What are you
It was
talking
like
about?
dead. There was like a big empty area.
It's too crowded on the dance floor. I like it when there's one or two people, maybe. Did I tell you guys about the article that I read? I don't know if I
please
talked
tell
about
us
this last week.
article. And what do you mean headline?
No, I actually clicked on the headline, did not read it, but I clicked on it and then hit the back button as fast as possible because words
yeah, you read it.
scare me. But it was about, do teenagers actually talk to each other in the way that they do in Heartstopper?
No.
And it turns out, yes.
What?
Teenagers are very scared about people changing their phone number. So they only use apps to communicate because of how often phone numbers change. I have not changed my phone number since 1977. I have had
Star
the
Wars
same
came out and you had to memorialize it.
Star Wars came out and I was like, what is this, Star Trek? Fuck Avatar. And then I changed my phone number. But when you do not ask for phone numbers anymore, you ask for @, and it's all
What's your
through
gram?
Instagram. Yeah.
And I do
instant
think
messaging.
it's less, it feels less, there's less meaning attached to what's your gram versus what's your
Phone number.
because I'm an older gentleman.
It's
and
easier to block.
out and about, I've recently had a couple of random people ask for my Instagram and later was like, wait, is this illicit? Should I not have given this strand? I was like, but it's Instagram. Who gives a fucking shit?
Right. And it is easier to block, right? And it's, like if I ask you for Instagram, that's literally social media. Like that's for socializing as opposed to phone number. Like that's for my mother.
That's for doctors and mothers only.
Doctors and mothers. And my mother is a doctor, please. The doctor was a woman. The doctor can be a woman, thank you.
And whales.
Don't forget.
In
whale
Wales,
is
the doctor
secret.
can be a whale.
Don't forget the fucking whales. Go ahead, Ryan.
And one more thing. I'm so sorry about Isaac, but like they've been building him up to be asexual. That's fine. But like, how is he not fucking dead?
What do you mean?
He should have fallen into an open manhole at this point.
The amount he reads.
Oh.
Well, now he reads.
He brought a book to prom. Come on,
He should have
bro.
been hit by a bus.
I was a reading dork kid too. You don't bring your book to prom.
He should have
Who likes
walked
to
in.
hang out with him?
He should have walked into an open manhole, and then a word balloon should have said "shell shock" above the manhole.
Isn't that how the guy from Soul died?
Yeah. Disney's got the copyright on that, Ryan. This is the only reason they couldn't do it. My favorite couple has become the two teachers, and I don't know. It's just because I feel like maybe they're more grounded. I don't know, or it's just like the little bit we get of them. But there's something about those two, and the one stone cold weirdo.
I see these two as the short coach from Ted Lasso and the angry coach from Ted Lasso. And this is fanfic of watching them hook up, and I'm into that.
Did they rail in Paris?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because they're like, we
Yes,
shouldn't have
absolutely.
Yeah, they
done
did.
that. And then
We got to
They did
see
the
that.
2-man Eiffel Tower.
Is there so? I don't know. It seems like this season definitely went down in enjoyment for you guys. Ryan?
not in enjoyment, in I don't know, like in being revolutionary. I think the first season was so new and fresh. And by virtue of it being a second season, this one couldn't have been, right? Unless it did something totally crazy. And I wanted it to do something as crazy as the first one, and it just didn't. It felt like watching these people make a lot of the same mistakes. I think that Charlie as a character needs a lot of work. I think that the actor who plays Nick is so strong that his writing doesn't need as much help as a lot of the other characters do. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's a bad sign when the greatest love story of the couples, I'm like, man, Nick could do so much better, and I just want him to find a better guy.
No.
I finally figured out, Mike, who Charlie reminds me of, and it's Patrick Fischler, who is the person who died when he saw the person behind the dumpster in Mulholland Drive. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. The not Jimmy Pardo, the guy I thought was Jimmy Pardo for so long.
Right.
Because he's the comedian in Mad Men.
Yes, the comedian from Mad Men, the representative of like Utz Chips.
Yes, we're
That's
so fucking old, man.
Yeah, you guys are speaking a different
We're
language.
talking about the most youthful show we've ever covered, and
He
you
said,
just
"Let me
dropped
bring in some references
Mulholland
here."
Drive and Mad Men, and just the blank stares Caitlin and Cassie gave us.
I
Also,
was starting to Google
But
things,
yes.
and then I was like, they're saying too many words for me to Google.
they're saying so many references at a nonstop rate.
The brows and the ears.
What if Isaac also, not to get back to Isaac, but what if this was for 2 seasons was the same book the entire time and he's just
He's
dumb
a
as
very
fuck?
slow reader. That's okay. We all knew he's asexual. He's illiterate. He's trying to hide.
He's
it.
on
Just trying to
page
figure out how
1.
to read.
So what do you guys just like look at these words and then turn pages? I don't
And then-
get it.
We learned they're all very opening and welcoming when it comes to any kind of sexuality. They are fucking cruel dickheads. when it comes to
Elitist Ivy
learning
League
disabilities.
buttholes.
You know that
That would be.
Tao
Yeah.
would totally be an asshole.
Oh my god, Tal would. Ugh. No, I almost moved to my moment of the week, Cassie. I'm
Oh yeah,
sorry.
no, we're ready for it. Drop it, Ryan.
You remember when like you guys were like almost rooting for Tal because he cut his hair and he came clean with Elle about his feelings and was almost a normal person, like getting close to Nick, and then he went to the dance floor, talked to Elle into going to the dance floor, and then pulled a fisherman's pull out and caught her as a fish and reeled her in. Are you fucking kidding me, Tao? You were the worst. Die.
That's the
Oh.
most Tao dance move there could be, though.
I want to see.
It's more
the
Tao than
director's-
even the robot.
the deleted scenes where an old ass director who decided this is how the kids should dance had to explain that this is a dance move to these kids because they're going to be like, "What? I just want to freak."
No, no.
Probably don't even say freak anymore.
So, person that plays Tao, you put your one hand behind your head and then your other arm straight out, and then pretend you're a sprinkler. Just go ahead and do it. No, it's super fun. All the kids love it.
Mike, what's your moment of the week?
Isaac has finished his book. Page 1 wanders to the library in the middle of prom, and a spotlight from heaven is just on a book
See,
on the top shelf that says
this backs up Caitlin's theory.
asexual.
Well, no.
And it's just like,
This is where he met that other guy, was at this bookshelf that they put together. And at the top, they had that Ace book, but
so he
never
put
read
it there for memory later. Like, it was fucking like, hey, idiots, if you haven't gotten what we're trying to do with Isaac, here you go. Spoon feed, dum-dums. And I do like this show, but I rolled my eyes so hard they popped out of my head.
Interesting that both of your moments of the week have been shitting on the show, but okay. Okay, motherfuckers. Caitlin, what's your moment of the week?
I also love the teachers, and just the fact that one of them had to lie to the other one to tell him to come to the prom.
Yeah.
That they needed more chaperones. Adorable. So
yeah,
adorable.
that they straight up banged in Paris and then still have to go through these little games here.
Yeah. Oh
Love
my
it.
God. I love it so much. I also, I have another moment of the week. It's just the ending, the fact that it was just happy. Because I also think that a car is going to blow up or hit them or something bad's going to happen because everything's just so happy in the show. And I'm just used to shows with so much drama and with Marissa always, dying in Mexico. So,
R.I.P.
yeah.
You're Marissa Cooper's of the world. Cassie, I have an issue with one of Caitlin's moments of the week.
Oh, no.
If you have a crush on me...
Is this a new segment? Moment of the week rebuttal?
Moment of the week, your moment sucks, and here's why.
Rebuttal.
If you have a crush on me, and the way that you tell me that, or don't tell me that, is by getting me to put a fucking shirt and tie on and lying about the fact that we need more chaperones, I'm going to be fucking pissed off.
To be fair, there were not enough chaperones at this
They're
time.
truly
There's never
not
enough
right.
chaperones.
Kids were
Right.
doing the fishing rod and sprinkler dance left and right willy-nilly, and they need to be stopped.
My moment of the week is apparently something that Mike hated, but when they all went over to take their group photo together to help out Isaac because he just brought his book and he got to cuddle up with his book in the photo. It was an adorable photo. I fucking loved it.
Everything at that photo booth was very cute, and I really enjoyed it.
Such a good time. I love photo
Yeah,
booth moment.
The photo booth and then the party at Nick's were very cute.
Very precious.
Party at Nick's montage was adorable.
And that's what Heartstopper is about. It's on Netflix if you haven't watched it yet. You totally should. That is all the time we have to talk about it, though. I do have time to talk about a website. And Ryan, I believe you have a big website that you're working on. I've heard it's going to change the world.
Damn.
Yes. We have so many gummied animals,
Worms.
gummy worms,
Bears.
others,
Sharks.
but they're also
Whales?
tiny. Why aren't they life-size? And for the low, low price of thousands of dollars, you could get a gummy shark in your fucking house tonight if you order 3 weeks in advance, because it does take some time to make this gummy shark.
Okay, fair enough. So
They're custom made?
Made to order. I love that.
Well, how many gummy life-size sharks do you want me to make ahead of time?
I didn't realize you had Jack in the Box rules.
Jack in the Box rules.
We don't make it till you order it.
Ryan, for those of us who weren't raised on Nat Geo, how big is Shark be?
Oh,
Big shark bee.
I would say stretch out your arms, Cassie.
Yeah. Okay. Start.
And about 10 times that.
Dang. You're telling me
And then,
all gummy?
Put your arms in front of you,
Uh-huh.
and then chomp them like that, and that's how big their jaws are.
Very important follow-up question. Can I chomp those little chompers of the life-size gummy?
Yeah. How about you turn the tables on this shark, and instead of them chomping you, you chomp it.
Who's eating who?
That's what
well,
you
that's
can
the
do.
point of a gummy.
That's what you can do with this shark gummy.
Ryan, question. Right now, in theaters
Hold on.
now,
Michael Gravano from the Michael Times.
thank you. In theaters now is the Meg 2: The Trench. Can I get a Meg-sized gummy?
You can have the shark called the Meg 2 colon. This is a giant shark with 2 colons.
And will they be trench-sized?
The
no.
shark will be real, but the colons will be gummy.
That's all I've ever wanted.
Follow-up question, Ryan. How was that related to his question? How did we get there?
Cassie, he said the words colon and gummy, and that's where my mind sort of stuck. In a trench. Follow-up question, Mike. Have you seen the Meg 2 colon trench?
Response to your question, I have not, because my wife and I have a rule. We're not allowed to see any movies till we finally see Barbie. And so there is a stack of movies we need to see probably this weekend. And so I think we will do Barbie, Bottoms, Meg 2: The Trench tomorrow.
Caitlin, I have a question. This is Ryan from the Ryan Times. Would you say that if you put you and your husband's top 10 dumbest rules on a list, that all of them would be less dumb than any of Mike and Renee, or Mike and his wife's rules?
Mike, that's dumb.
No, I think it's fair to say we need to see Barbie.
You gotta
before
put Barbie
bad
first.
movies.
You put Barbie first, but also, if you get to the movie theater, fucking just go.
Also, I've broken the rule. I saw Ninja Turtles.
I knew it.
If there's a movie to break it, that's the one. I'm so proud of
Do
you.
it for the turtles.
For Mutant Mayhem?
Mutant.
There was so many mutants, so much mayhem.
Ryan, final question. What's the URL? How do we get these life-size sharks?
You go to https:// the Meg 2 : gummy, colon, and that colon is 2 dots. Gummy, colon, that colon you're going to want to spell out. Colon, gummy, colon, that one spell out. Colon. That's 2 dots. .com. And that's where you're going to get the gummiest colons of all the... Actually, I'm changing the business. We're taking shark colons and we're turning them into gummies. THC, CBD, OCD. We're imprinting old school OC podcasts on them. Yeah, go there for all of your fucking gummy shark colon needs.
There's so many needs for those.
.com. I never stopped saying the URL. I'm sorry, Cassie. You interrupted me.
So that's on me.
So many websites are taken that you got to just go long.
Go long, like a wide receiver.
And that's the tagline for these gummy colon sharks.
Yep.
Well, Ryan, there's already a lot working against you with this, so I'm going to send you over to my friend, Cyber Sprout.
Name one thing.
Just don't have the time. Cybersprout.net's going to help you make a website that is at least going to be good to sell this product, okay? That's because they offer premium hosting that's specifically built for WordPress. They handle security, maintenance, backup, speed optimization. They work hand in hand with you. They love shark colons, especially if they're gummy. Cybersprout.net, your partner for a digital world. Coming up next, it's the pull list. We are back for the pull list where we talk about all the other shows we watched this week. First show starting it off is One Piece. On the first episode of Netflix live-action adaptation of One Piece, we are introduced to Luffy, a boy with elastic powers who wants to be the Pirate King, I think. In order to do that, he needs a crew in the One Piece. By the end of the episode, he gains some crew members and also the map with the route that will lead to the One Piece. Taste buds, I ask you this. What is making the show seem so compelling to watch, and is it worth changing the fabric of superhero show?
It's sequential panel storytelling.
Listen, guys. Everything is sequential. Sequential?
Everything is a sesquicentennial.
Sequential, based on a Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
Mike, who just died?
Kevin Conroy died a few years ago. He played Batman.
Oh, no.
Cassie, is the theme song for this One Piece ahead of disaster?
Okay, it's about a boy trying to become the Pirate King. This is up my shit. I'm definitely going to watch this show.
And between Mike and Caitlin, I cannot believe the show was not watched.
I did try. I'm no joke. I turned it on and then I turned it off because I was like, this is not for me.
There was a whole $12 in the budget of this entire show. And
that's not what the trailer told me.
That's
insane. Awesome.
What? We have watched 2 different trailers.
There probably are 2 different trailers.
Will I even understand it if I didn't watch Zero Piece?
No, dude. You're fucking screwed.
I'm fucking screwed.
But yeah, it seems... There's some parts of it that seem like the general story seems fun. I just don't know about its vibe. The fact that it has to be like anime style acting and everything brought over to live action, I don't know if I want those 2 to be a thing.
I think what made me turn it off is the fact that it is on one part super gory and like there's lots of bloody aspects to it, but then also feels like a kid show at the same time. Like within the first 15 minutes, I couldn't tell the tone of the show, and it wasn't like, and both of them were not my vibes, and they were not meshing well. So I was like, I'm not going to dedicate my time to this. I will be taking a nap.
And this is a woman who, after watching 3 minutes of Smallville, said, I cannot join your podcast. I have to go watch 10 seasons of a show first.
Yeah, I'm going to, I know things that are good in 3 minutes.
She's got a talent.
In 3 weeks, all 4 of us are scheduled to be on the show, and One Piece is the main event. So we will see what happens then.
That's so crazy. When's that date?
I will have watched every episode up until when we're supposed to watch.
I will too, Mike. I'm not a coward.
Well, these 2 will be telling you all about One Piece. It's on Netflix if you want to join them. Our next show is Harley Quinn.
On this week's episode of Harley Quinn, Nora and some of the gang are stuck in the Legion of Doom headquarters and try to escape using methods that aren't from Die Hard. Meanwhile, Bane tries to become a master pasta chef for Nora's love. Taste buds, I ask you this. With Harley Quinn becoming the home of TV's most interesting couple, are they still allowed to give us episodes like this?
Yes, I was. It's always fun to have a Butters episode.
Or a Bane Sapode.
Right, but
if they're churning out Butters episodes like this, Mike, how often are they allowed to churn butter?
Every 3 weeks.
Okay.
We finally got the epic conclusion to Bane's search for the pasta maker.
Yes,
and it was in him all along.
He was a pasta maker.
It was, Mike. Was this now? You did not marry somebody that you were supposed to. You married somebody else. But was the lady that taught Bane how to make pasta? Was this the wife that you were supposed to marry, according to your trad Italian family?
Yes, every Nona tried to get this big Italian sausage. And I said, no.
This lady that threw a fucking cup right at Bane's head when she pissed him off.
Yeah, I got a little hard. Bane, the voice actor doing Bane, doing Italian is the hilarious. It's so around these parts, we've done Bane since the Tom Hardy movie came out, and then it kind of died. But boy, is this show. And excuse me, Mr. Bane. Nope, that was 2 Jar Jar Binks.
That wasn't 2 Jar Jar Binks. That was only Jar Jar Binks.
That was 1 Jar Jar Binks. I didn't know that was going to happen. But it's so fucking funny, Bane doing Italian.
Okay, and have you ever made pasta
before? It might
before?
sound a little something like anybody else do it. No, I've not made pasta before, but I think it's extremely dumb.
I think it was really funny when he couldn't break the eggs. He just kept breaking all the eggs because he was just too strong.
Do you know what I fucking hate, Caitlin?
What?
Between my ability to not break eggs and my need to hump buildings, am I Bane? Is that just who I am?
We're born to the darkness. We all just adopted it.
Bane needs a podcast, obviously. All right, let's get to the other one. I'm starting to really dig Nora as a character.
Yeah.
And here's the...
I'm sorry, I'm going to perv out on that. Yeah, a little less.
Yeah.
Just fun.
I also forgot something very important. King Shark, despite his Ron Funches voice and his daddiness, is extremely powerful. He's walking into a room staring at his iPad or whatever, and then a guy with a gun pops up, and he just eats him immediately.
Yep.
Like, in 1 second. But what did we make of this escape from the Legion of Doom headquarters?
I think it introduced us to Captain Cold as a bit more of a character.
And
I just love
barely.
Nora's thing of I need cold boys. Like that's just what her kink is. Yeah, I don't know. It was fun to hang out with her and Shark more.
And Cold Boy and
Cold Boy and Volcana. Oh, and then there's the scene where Volcana tries to kill the guy with fire. Captain Cold tries to ice him. They cancel each other out, so Nora just grabs a bottle and bashes the guy in the face.
Yes, because classic Irish bar violence always works better than superpowers. The thing that this show has more than any of our shows is that like classic Trey and Matt thing of like, don't ever have a scene not also be a sketch. Like you have to get us from point A to point B, but also you have to have this ending of like that scene worked on its own. And this show always does that. But otherwise, like Harley and Ivy barely talked, so I think this episode's whatever.
Were they in it?
Yeah.
Maybe in the first
just
minute.
in the bookends of like apocalypse is coming. And King Shark accidentally, in trying to blow up and trying to explode a high-end diaper store, accidentally explodes the time machine.
Should we go to Moments of the Week?
Yeah.
Caitlin?
Oh, geez. It's when Bane gets his moped stolen by little Italian boys.
That classic moment.
It's just so good, that whole moment. And then his reaction and just being sad, but then seeing the mama's house. Oh, and the reveal that he was being trained by none other than Mama Macaroni herself.
Her sister.
Her sister? Crazy.
Sister Macaroni.
Sister Macaroni.
Mike, your Moment of the Week?
Connected to Caitlin's is, and then I have another one, but it's Bambinos. I can't. I lost it. It's always fucking Jar Jar Binks now. Ryan, give me a set. I need a set.
Bambino.
Bambinos. Nope, I lost it.
Stop. You're doing like Slimer from Ghostbusters or something. Get Tom Hardy. It's not Tom Hardy. It's Bambino.
Bambinos. It's me, Banyo.
Better.
It was good.
Much better.
And then
Better.
Superman, the sun is blocked out, so he loses his powers, and him saying, "Where's the nearest tanning salon? Do we still have those
In our
Like,
culture?
As a culture?" That tickled me.
Superman had that bit of the thing that will always get me, which is Olivia Colman from The Favorite saying, "Don't look at me."
Don't look at me.
Ryan, what's your moment of the week?
My moment of the week, Cassie, is Signore Macaroni. Yeah. Knows that Venom feeds on tubes. He usually gets venom from tubes, but instead, because she's Italian, has pumped it full of olive oil, and that's how he's getting his nutrients. Honestly, Nora and King Shark and their gang, like, they had a good old time, but this whole fucking Bane, like the Bridges of Madison County thing going on in Italy with Bane and the Signore that's what this episode was all about. I mean, she threw that cup right at his fucking head, and it was immediate. Bane was like, "Well, I don't know," and then boom, right with the cup to the head.
Harley Quinn is Thursdays on Max. You should be watching it. Our final show of the week is My Adventures with Superman.
This week on Mouse, we learn what Day Zero was as Clark does when the General shows him an fully 3D holographic that you can taste,
The
smell,
volume.
see, sense. The what?
The volume.
The volume. It was very loud.
No, that like, how they filmed Ahsoka.
It was with the volume?
Yeah, like they film it in this big, like, giant box where.
Oh, called the volume.
Yeah, it's called the volume. Like, that's what they were in. It's like a remix of the
A
volume.
holodeck.
I like holodeck.
He shows him the day the Kryptonians came to Earth. And then Task Force breaks out to fight against the army and take down Superman, surprising nobody except for the General and Waller. Taste buds, I ask you this. We don't care at this point if canon has changed, right? That the Kryptonians weren't escaping Krypton blowing up, that they were there to invade Earth, and Superman, little baby Superman, was somehow part of the invasion and got stuck.
Is there evidence of that? No, we don't care. We definitely don't care. But, like, are we sure that was Kryptonians?
I guess they all had their ships made the symbol. The robots had the symbol on their chest.
Am I so stuck on canon that I'm like, lies? No, this
I
isn't
thought so
true.
too. I was at the same point.
I was
of
just like in my head, I'm like, okay, so this version, Zod had robots.
No, in my head, it's like I'm watching an episode of Krypton TMZ, and I'm like, no, this didn't happen.
false.
Bullshit.
But no, this show is so good at doing what it does. I'll let them tell whatever story they want. If they want to take over like Lilo and Stitch, fucking go for it. I don't care at this point.
Oh,
Is that
wait,
what
hold
this
on.
made you think of?
If they add this to that, I would not only be okay with it, I would prefer it. If Clark and Stitch
We're
fight
both
together.
from Krypton.
And Eiffel Tower Nani?
No.
Mike, no, go in the corner.
What?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, this isn't movie of the year. No, I'm not talking about Nani that way.
And then Lois and Nani are like, well, it's just the two of us. What should we do?
Hold on, I got to write some fanfic.
Sorry.
You go.
Okay. In this episode, we got Sad Boy Clark. Once he realized he was sent for destruction. How do you guys feel about little Sad Boy who almost gave up?
I like this version of Clark who's learning. He is not really Superman yet versus the Snyder Superman who wasn't really Superman yet and never will be. He's learning and there's goodness in him. But he doesn't have that. If everybody's telling him he sucks, he doesn't have that confidence yet. Like, no, I don't. I'm good. Like, it all worked for me. I think Jack Quaid's voice acting is so good. And I bought it when Clark was crying and the General was like, wait. Did we fuck up? Like, I bought all of that. That all worked for me.
Okay, so here's something crazy. I didn't buy the Superman stuff. I was like, all right, I don't want to watch this. Superman, get back up. Don't have tears. But I did buy the Colonel. What is he? The General?
The General.
The General.
The insurance guy.
When you gotta call the General. When he was like, wait, did we do something bad? Because I know that's such a crazy thing for boomers to do, to be like, not that he's a boomer, but like, wait, is what we wholly believed in and based our entire personality on, was that wrong? That's really hard for them to do.
Waller straight up says, Task Force X doesn't make mistakes. Whoa, buddy.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes.
No, we have been going down a wrong road. No, we have been going down this road. This is the road we're going down.
He's like, wait, he was a wee little baby that day of the invasion. I don't know if this is the right guy. She's like, kill him anyway and kill everybody who gets in our way. Because the general, and we've seen before, is always like, let's not kill civilians. And Waller, in true Amanda the Wall Waller fashion, is like, I will kill any civilian I can if it means I get to stub the toe of Superman.
Right. So Waller is a power for power's sake person. And so
she just cannot see the forest through the trees.
And we thought the general was the baddest bad person in the show, and now Waller is taking her throne.
Right. And we got to see Slade lose his eye.
The way that was connected for you,
guys.
and also hyped up. I love with Spider-Man how happy it makes him.
Superman.
The other guy,
dude. Deathstroke famously only has one eye. You would know that if you knew anything.
Did Cassie just call Superman Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Is
I
Cassie?
think maybe we should just fire her.
Is Cassie my mom?
Your little characters who do the things, you know.
My mind is currently being blown because you said that Jack Quaid is the voice actor for Superman, and he's the guy from the Boyz. Like, I just had to Google it. I was like, I thought, and then he is. He was also in Hunger Games.
He's had a good few years. He's in Hunger Games. He was also in Scream 5, the lesser of the new Screams, but he was good in
I
it.
see that from his IMDb that I'm on right now.
I'm not on his IMDb. I am his IMDb.
Oh!
He has a great strike beard going on right now. I follow him. I might be a little obsessed with Jack Quaid, you guys.
Right.
Just a tiny bit.
All right.
How was the big fight for you guys with the giant little kaiju guy?
We got a kaiju.
We got a kaiju, and a massive kaiju at that one.
I screamed we had a kaiju.
Caitlin has a button in her, right in her watching desk. She watches TV at a desk. There's 1,000 TVs, but they all play the same thing. And she has a button that, we got a kaiju.
That's Steve Agee gave us that in the last Suicide Squad movie. So now that is just a thing that we get to say when the kaiju shows up.
Yeah, Caitlin goes full newsy down the block of, we got a kaiju.
Get your pipes, kaiju here.
Extra.
Which is the mass in the kaiju. There's extra.
And
how did you guys like to me, this is very, to Cassie, who is her mom, this is very Spider-Man to me, is to get the whole city together to help the hero. That's so Marvel.
Yeah.
Did that work for you guys? Like, he's a Metropolisian, and you want your big kaiju. We're all going to turn our lights off.
Well, it worked for me in a couple ways, Mike, because it's very Marvel, first of all. And what did they do? Was it just a couple of people with something to say that spoke into microphones and broadcasted it to the world? Like fucking podcasters? That's what they did.
Heroes.
They invented and all of Metropolis was like, number one, kill that kaiju. Number two, let's start a fucking podcast, bro.
That was the part where, I don't know if Supergirl just killed me on this, where it's always got to be a speech to save the day, but it was a little bit like, okay, we're still doing this.
There was a speech, Cassie, and then there was punching.
True. We still got to see.
He blew the kaiju's heart out.
Yeah, that kaiju fucking got so pretty rad. You're right. I'm back on it. It kicks ass.
Also, when it died, it just stayed there as rock solid.
Now it's just a fucking statue they have to deal with. Divert traffic, everything.
Yep. Love it.
Did you guys hate, though, that when Jimmy Olsen took the mic, he would do that dance around that Eminem does? And just that's how he would get the fucking all the people pumped. And that Lois would just say at the last word of every one of Jimmy Olsen's line, Lois would repeat it, Beastie Boys style. Mm-hmm. That's how you get people involved. It's
all white rap.
It's through white rap.
And then they had an Asher Roth reference for some reason. They both just said, I love college.
So weird. Should we go to Moments of the Week?
Sure.
All right. I guess, Mike, let's go to you.
I got two, because come on. I do Superman is the middle of this. He's facing kaiju parasite, and he's just let's leave the people of Metropolis out of this. And before he gets to finish the sentence, You just don't see the villains do this so often. The heroes do it more often in modern stuff. He just punches Superman because he doesn't give a fuck about the people of Metropolis. I was like, all right, Parasite, let's go.
That was my moment.
And then Jimmy, Lois, and Clark are making out, and they say, I love you. And Jimmy is also right there and just does this weird, awkward shuffle away from them as they make out in front of him. And I like that. I like the animation of the show.
Related to your moment of the week is when I think Clark had just defeated the kaiju, and Jimmy like tackles him and starts kicking his feet. He's just like so happy to be back with his friend. Love it. So good. Caitlin, what's your moment of the week?
My moment of the week is right there. I like how ours all landed in the same area. It's the moment when Lois and Clark have their moment where they're hovering and they're flying in the middle of the air and they're like, I love you. And he's like, I love you too. And it's like, oh my God. I loved it so much.
It's always the hovering.
Yeah, it's hovering. It gets me.
Ryan, moment of the week?
My moment of the week was going to be where Clark says, you can hurt me, just don't hurt the people of Metropolis, and then he gets punched in the face. But since Mike took that, I will pick the part where Superman says, Ivo, you can't go there, and Ivo says, I vote where I want to vote.
Good reference.
You fool.
Ivo.
Thanks, buddy.
No, I was talking to Ivo.
My Adventures with Superman is Fridays on Max. Coming up next, we're going to talk about that other little guy, Spider-Man. Welcome to Spider-Man Mania, bitch, a mini show within a show where we take an in-depth, episode-by-episode look at Fox's seminal and underrated early morning soap opera from the mid-90s, Spider-Man the Animated Series. This week we watched the second episode, which I believe was called like Spider Death or something like that. The Spider Slayer, so much rather than Spider Death.
Spider Death.
Fucking Spider Death, welcome to it.
My favorite 80s metal band.
Probably would kick ass, though. But when this episode starts, guys, it's just Spider-Man swinging around trying to clear his head. Just trying to get that New York City life to awaken him up.
Having not seen any of this show, except for these two episodes, I'm just going to guess and say
Insanity.
This is how every episode will start.
Yeah.
In CGI buildings until Cell Animated Spider-Man shows up.
Just like, man, my life is so hard, and I don't know how I stay awake all these nights.
And then a different adversary will show up. And these ones, he is like, look at these little toys. How cute. Why is my spider sense going off? He's a moron.
The fact that there's so many little things flying at him and he's like, oh, wow, toys. I'm like, bitch, probably not.
And we know that these are sent by Barack Obama. These are called drones, and they're here to kill your family.
Only if it was at a wedding.
So yeah, these things start chasing him. They give us a good little shot of his booty while they're chasing him.
Does Spider-Man have a dumpster, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
He's got a donker.
Yeah, he do. They got them photos of that booty. And then we see the people behind it who are seeing the footage. It's a couple of inventors and some other dude. I forgot the name.
Alistair Smythe is the son in the wheelchair. Spencer Smythe is the old man who originally invented the Spider Slayers. Norman Osborn is there, who's like, the money's all mine. They're my Spider Slayers. I don't care that you invented them. Also, if I don't know who on this show wouldn't know this, but Norman Osborn was played by Willem Dafoe in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Good. For the Cassie's the world who confused Spider-Man and Superman. This guy might become Spider-Man's biggest villain, a.k.a. the Green Goblin.
Fucking spoiler, bitch. God damn.
I was sort of looking forward to that reveal, but I guess it's ruined for me now.
Yeah, now I guess we'll...
What if this show doesn't do it?
Now
it's already changing stuff up.
I can only look forward to what happens when Eddie Brock has been fired.
Did I ruin your flow? I'm sorry. I was just trying to tell you the people in a room.
No, yeah, the people in the room. I was just trying to remember any of their names, and I simply won't. I can't.
Spencer, Alistair, Norman. God damn it. These aren't even on my notes.
They're all fucking terrible names, and just
I was trying to figure out how to spell Alistair for the longest time. I'm going to be honest.
Can we just say, like, from now on, number one way of being a bad guy, do you have a man in a tube? That's number one. Number two, are you watching a giant screen with other screens? That's
so
and not
screens.
TV, live action. Like You're not watching CNN. You're watching
So is
a
Professor
things
X
happening.
a bad person?
Yes.
Yes, Kaylin.
That's what
yes.
we spent
show never
years
showed.
The
confirming.
worst person. He's fucking
And you
balls.
know he's bad because one of these bad guys is clearly based on him. How do you know somebody's evil? He's in a fucking wheelchair.
And he wants a floating wheelchair. That's the point of this
Yeah.
episode is he wants a floating... Okay.
Please,
Cassie,
Daddy,
go ahead.
Can I get a floating wheelchair?
I want one too. But this guy's got a mullet. This guy's got swag with that fucking mullet.
This guy has a squid on his head.
But we see that they do have more tech. Now, it's not just these tiny robots. They also have a giant spider robot, a.k.a. the Black Widow, I believe. At this point, we cut to a
Confusing.
commercial. Dramatic moment. And then when we come back, it's back to the office of Jameson. Is that
J.
Mr.
Jonah Jameson.
Mr. Jameson? And
J
he's
cubed.
sending... We also see another girl who looks kind of familiar, but maybe not, because her hair is down. And guys, now she's pretty.
She's a different girl. Different character. I'm sorry.
Felicia?
Not all blonde girls are the same.
What? There's another blonde girl he goes to school with? I don't think so.
Yeah. No, it is.
There's only one blonde girl at Columbia.
And I when I saw her, I knew this was Felicia because she was getting me hardy, if you know what I mean.
Oh!
How dare you? But she's throwing a charity ball. It's very important because her rich daddy is throwing it. So they send
Rich
Peter
mommy.
to go get photos of it. Did you throw
This is
another
fun.
fucking name at me? Did
No.
you throw another name
Another
at me?
correction. Another correction, Cassie.
It's her mom who helps fund Jameson's tabloids. And this is just for me also watching this episode.
Sorry. Okay, do you want to do this?
No,
You
keep
go to
going.
your
Mike,
notes.
This
would
is
you like to
fun.
host? Also, did you guys realize in the moment that I did, because this is my second episode ever, that Peter is going to wear the same striped shirt in every episode? Is this true?
Yeah,
It's his
rad.
Bart Simpson outfit.
This is his sweater?
It stinks like shit. In canon, Peter's very poor. Everybody starts talking about how he only wears one shirt.
I'm currently poor. I changed my shirt.
Okay,
Well, you're
so
less
not
poor
that
than him.
poor. But yeah,
I'm sorry, I just got it. There is a charity ball happening. It is being thrown at J. Jonah Jameson's house, but it's being funded by Felicia Hardy's mom, who we do not meet in this episode.
all these facts are so important. Thank you.
It fucking is.
All these things are true.
All these things are true. These are all facts. Yep.
I do want to just take over. J. Jonah
Do
Jameson
it.
tells her that he's just going to send his best reporter, but he crosses his fingers. Even though Peter's not in the room right now, he cannot say it.
He cannot tell a lie.
He
without crossing
cannot,
his
yeah,
fingers.
without crossing his fingers, just because he hates Peter so much.
Felicia Hardy says, "Oh my God, I recognize that person. Is this Peter Parker from my college? Have you guys ever been to college?
Once or twice.
Have you ever been on a college campus? You will literally never see the same person twice. Like, how would you recognize a person from college?
You guys, did you just realize Ryan never made a friend in college?
I know that's
Did
sad.
it make you sad too?
This
But
is
also,
not
if
funny.
there's a stud like Peter Parker, you guys, you're gonna recognize him.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Did you guys realize that Mike is the fucking guy with the stinky sweater who never changed his sweater? Because that's why everybody remembered him.
Proudly.
Fucking stinky person.
We had a guy named Shoeless Joe because he never wore shoes, and everybody knew him because
Yep.
of his
Was he
nasty ass
very
fucking
good at
feet.
baseball in the
He was
30s?
not.
Yeah,
Nope.
Was that the guy?
It's not.
it was the tents, Mike. And was he busted?
tents?
Yes.
Shoeless Joe Jackson?
Is he busted
Ryan,
for
aren't you
throwing the
interested in
World
sports
Series?
stuff?
Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man. I don't know where we are anymore.
Okay,
There-
so after we get the charity stuff ruined out, we flash and we now know Norman is the power behind the Smythes, but then Kingpin Wilson Fisk is the power behind Osborn, and as he says, crime is my livelihood, my life, all jeopardized by Spider-Man.
Which I don't like. You don't want a villain to be evil, right? Like, evil for evil's sake is boring, but also just to be crime, huh? I love crime.
I'm into it.
What I do, crime. I just love crime so much. That's what Kingpin is. Did you guys from Norman Osborn, did you get a little bit of a vibe?
What kind of vibe?
Can I show you the vibe
Trying
real
to
quick?
fuck you?
No, Mike, I didn't think that the cartoon from 1994 was trying to fuck me, okay? So let me do something else instead. I'm Norman Osborn. And
He's Christian Slater.
I'm as good as it gets. And I'm also in the movie Wolf, if you know what I mean. I'm an easy rider. Did you guys get that vibe?
Now I do.
Now
No.
Ryan's back, by the way.
Whoa.
Ryan's here.
Wow.
That was crazy.
Cassie and Caitlin, do you know who he was just trying to be?
Caitlin said
Jack
that was
Nicholson?
crazy and then just left.
That was crazy. I'm out.
Dropped the mic and fucking bailed.
And that's where I leave.
Anyway, Norman Osborn is Jack Nicholson. Cassie, thank you.
Yeah. Anytime, bro.
I would never have gotten there. I thought you were trying to be the guy from Scream.
So, Mike, name him off. Wilson Fisk.
Uh-huh.
Who's that?
The Kingpin.
Felicia Hardy.
You want me to do this, not them?
Felicia
Who
Hardy.
is Felicia Hardy, though? I do
Black
want to know
Cat.
that. What?
What
Black
was that?
Cat. She's Spider-Man's Catwoman.
Hey, Norman
okay.
Osborn.
I know
Green
him.
Goblin.
So we got the lizard in episode 1, and we have all of this going on in episode 2. This seems
who
like
else
a
is here,
lot.
Ryan? Who else is here who has a big scoop, and his big scoop is, let's watch these robots
Eddie
crash
Brock.
through a party. It's Eddie Brock Venom.
Venom.
Edward G. Brock is here. So 4 of the biggest Spider-Man villains of all time are semi-introduced in this episode.
Just hang out like humans. What I love about this show is that right now, if you didn't know anything, the Smythes seem like
Yeah.
the biggest Spider-Man villains.
Fuck, Peter, you got to get away from the Smythe family. This kid with a mullet in a wheelchair might be the most dangerous person.
But we found out why they're motivated to do this is because, again, they want a fancy wheelchair. The other dude, the bad dude, wants it because he put up his entire company.
Norman Osborn.
Norman Osborn. He put his company on the line to Kingpin, and this is how he's going to pay back his loan.
Weird bet to make.
It's very, very weird indeed.
Well, if Norman doesn't come through, then the Kingpin gets his company, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And if he does come through,
He gets to kill Spider-Man.
and that's a win-win, and that's why he's the Kingpin.
At this
I
point,
like-
I'll say we're at the ball. And
Yeah.
Oh, and then this is where Felicia Hart is like with her boy, which is Flash.
Flash
And-
Thompson. Normally
Flash
played by
Thompson.
Tony Ravioli.
is that a real last name?
No, I said
Mama
his name
Macaroni.
wrong. Ryan, what's his real name?
I'll look it up to protect our email account.
It's he's the one who calls Peter Parker a dick in all the new Spider-Man
The
movies.
star of Wes
Grand
Anderson's-
Budapest Hotel.
The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Get your hands off my lobby boy. He's the aforementioned lobby boy.
All right.
Lobby Boy is there.
And Harry Osborn, who this show doesn't make a pickle out of, but he is Jack Nicholson, a.k.a. Norman Osborn's son. We're just getting so much Spider-Man cast exploded in this episode.
Revelori and Tony Revelori. And this was supposed to be the 3rd episode, and it got moved to the 2nd one. I'm not sure why. But holy shit. Like the amount of lore, and I'm not even sure like if we're supposed to know how much lore is being introduced.
Right. And Aunt May, who is Peter's date,
Yes.
Speaking of
he's
lore,
on the job. He's on the job, and he brings a date, which is weird enough. And then he brings his old-ass aunt, which Felicia finds attractive, and the 2 dudes are making fun of him. And she does not shut up about this blind date she wants to set him up on.
I have this blind date for you. And Peter's like, oh, blind date. That means ugly. She's probably blind and probably a date. Probably like that fruit that's
A
called a
rotted
date.
fruit.
Probably a piece of fruit with no eyes. That's probably
He
what
doesn't
he
even
thinks.
know that he's about to hit the jackpot tiger.
Named Mary Jane Watson. So like we are introducing lore left and right.
Cassie?
Yes.
And then there's that one chick, she starts dancing with Peter.
Felicia.
Yeah, Felicia comes and jumps on fucking Peter's dick, and she's like,
Yeah.
I want a fucking taste of that shit.
Look
I've
at
been
him in
waiting
a
for this
cummerbund.
moment.
I love that pink cummerbund. He's wearing the shit out of it. And when the other guys get jealous, and he knows exactly how to get back at him, he rented out a Spider-Man outfit. So he goes down to his car, throws that on, and interrupts the party, breaks up their dance, breaks up Peter fucking getting it. But
And he walks
unfortunately-
into the dance and everyone at the dance except for Peter's like, that 100% for sure is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like
I
we
know
know for a
Spider-Man when I
fact.
see
Look
him.
at him. I'm looking at him right now. That gentleman in a rented costume is 100% Spider-Man, and I will never doubt the thought that I just had.
How much did you guys love Peter's acting voice of, oh no, hi, Spider-Man, are you mad at me?
Whatever
I'm
shall I
sorry.
do?
I'm sorry I take photos of you.
That's when I was like, I get why people kind of hate Peter Parker. He's
Yeah.
kind of a pop-up
Yeah.
asshole.
Because who is he doing that for? Literally
Yeah.
nobody is listening to him except for us.
And that's, you know what? I relate hard.
Yes, and that's why he's my favorite fictional
A
character of all time.
But unfortunately for this guy who decided to rent this costume, the robots have been sent out to hunt down
The
Spider-Man.
Spider Slayers are coming after the Spider-Man because they think that it's the real Spider-Man, but it's not. It's just Flash.
Because they have their incredible robot detection detects colors of a costume
Yeah, a costume. And a bulge.
and a bulge. And luckily, Flash and Peter have the exact same dick bulge.
And we all knew that. But it looks more impressive on Peter because he's smaller. And this is when earlier J. Jonah Jameson was like, and where is Eddie Brock? And we get a weird cutaway, and Brock is just hanging out with the bad guys watching, and you're like, what the fuck? It is not clear yet that he's doing a top secret news story. I don't think this is how this works. I think you normally have to tell your boss where you're going.
So all we know is J. Jonah Jameson says Eddie Brock is off getting the biggest scoop out there, and we're waiting to get information back from him. Then we cut to Eddie Brock, and then he's talking to Oswald, and they're like, we want to stay above board on everything. Above board. And they're like, that's why we have reporters here, Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened.
J. Jonah Jameson, played by Katharine Hepburn, of course. We want all the stories. We want them now.
Stories. When the robot breaks in to the ball that's just at J. Jonah Jameson's house, Felicia yells at the robot, "You're ruining everything.
Yeah.
This spoiled rich bitch."
What if the
It
robot
was
was like,
ruining.
oh my God, I'm sorry, and just backwards walked?
Oh,
God,
awkward social.
I am so embarrassed. Goodbye.
And JJ is mad that Peter is not getting shots of what's happening because he's also just like, what the fuck is going on?
It's the fight of the century.
There's also a moment where Aunt May gets locked in a room because that's
For
what
her
it's-
safety.
Yeah,
for
for
her
her
safety.
safety.
She gets
Look,
gets
let's
shoved
all
in a room.
agree. Lock your aunt in a room.
Next time you're hanging out with your old ass aunt, just be like, oh my God, robots are attacking, and then lock her in a room. And then
It's
just
for your
never go
safety.
back there, until the end of the wedding.
Her die.
The spider does get fake ass Spider-Man, so then real ass Spider-Man has to go after fake ass Spider-Man and save him.
There's a moment that Eddie Brock reveals that Flash Thompson is Spider-Man. And then random thugs just run in, and nobody knows who they are. I still don't know who they are. They just go, hut, 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 hut. And Eddie Brock says, hey, I got First Amendment rights. And one of the thugs says, we just amended them, and breaks his camera like a boss.
They
Yeah, it's-
also all come running in, and one stops for an interview with Eddie Brock of like, extra, what are you guys doing? And they're like, getting Spider-Man.
Before that,
Spiderman.
the deleted scene is all 8 of them before they run in. It's like, all right, you 7, we're going to charge in. You, the 8th one, you give the fucking most dangerous interview you've ever given.
And also hit him with a couple of good one-liners.
You just say that their First Amendment has been amended. Or if they say, talk about a different amendment, you say, amend this, and you grab your crotch as hard as you can.
Mike, what all happens in this battle? I can't fully remember.
Okay. So they all run, and there's both the Black Widow and then more of those drones. Spider-Man picks up a giant beam that construction workers usually eat their lunch on and is knocking the drones out of the sky with it. Later, he spider rodeos. He's riding the big metal spider. He gums up the Black Widow with his web canisters. He throws it up her hoo-ha, and then she falls into Joker acid. And then
Peter Parker literally says, where is her robot spider pussy? And that was a shocking line of dialogue.
Hey, Doc, real quick.
Fox used to be wild, man. And then while this is happening, Spencer Smythe, who's watching it, for some reason his office is on fire and everybody else is running away. And then Flash, still dressed like Spider-Man, is hiding like a bitch and is just like, Spider-Man, you won't tell anybody I hid like a bitch, will you? I think that is a summary of everything that happens in this fight.
Yeah, the building explodes for reasons that are unknown. While Papa
Buildings
Scientist
are going to explode.
Yeah, everyone got out except for Papa Scientist and what's the kid's name? Spencer.
Alistair.
Alabaster.
Alabaster.
It's Alistair, a great pop punk band from Chicago.
I don't think it is, Mike. Alabaster is like, hey, did my father get out? And in the exact perfect moment, right then, the building explodes so hard that there's
the building
no
has good comedic
way.
timing.
Yes.
Yeah,
And then, most importantly, J. Jonah Jameson fires Eddie Brock. And I don't want to spoil anything, but you don't want to fire Eddie Brock.
Don't fire Eddie Brock. Something bad happens when you fire Eddie Brock.
You want to fucking find a way to keep him on the payroll because bad shit happens.
And we also get the guy mourning his dad on a hilltop for some reason, and Kingpin knows he's there and comes and approaches him. And I think this is where it says like to be continued or some nonsense.
Kingpin straight up says, "Oh, I'll help you. I want to kick your wheelchair down this hill, but instead I will help you."
It was the
And that's
most
big of
wild
him.
meeting point.
Yeah.
That is it for the episode, though. So let's go to the awards. First one, starting it off, you guys. Most 90s thing. Ryan, what do you got?
That kid in the wheelchair had the fucking wildest squid-shaped mullet I have ever seen, Cassie. I don't know what could be possibly be more 90s than that.
It was so fucking rad, though. Mike, what do you got?
As JJ fires Eddie Brock, he says, "The networks are laughing at me, Brock, even Fox." And it feels very 90s for cartoons to make fun of the network that they are on.
That is. Caitlin?
I have J. Jonah Jameson crossing his fingers behind his back as he says that
Such
Peter
a 90s
Parker
thing we did.
is the fucking best. Fucking love that shit, but yeah, 90s.
We all did it. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. As her fingers were crossed behind her back, worshiping the devil.
90s. Simpler time. My most 90s thing is when that spider was attacking and Mr. J was like, where's my photographer? He's missing the thing of the century, where any other time, like now, everybody would be live streaming that shit instantly. The fact that nobody had a fucking camera around. There was
Pull
only
out your
one
phones,
man.
idiots.
Yeah,
Film
like
that shit.
just get that shit. But all really good ones. Weirdly enough, I'm gonna give it to Ryan for that shitty mullet, though.
It shouldn't be weird to give me points, Cassie. It should feel
It's
very
fucking
natural.
weird.
No, that
Nobody
should be the
saw
most
it coming.
natural thing.
Ryan is getting that point. Our next award is Best Web Zinger. Mike, what do you got?
There wasn't a lot this episode, not compared to the first one. I guess it's foul ball coming through, and then he hits one of the drones with the big metal construction worker lunch beam, like a baseball bat, and then he says, "Tell me the Mets don't need me."
Fucking
I guess
good,
it's
though.
that.
Fucking good, though. Caitlin?
Mine, I actually didn't even get one from Peter because I feel like he had some real stinkers this episode. So I'm going to give mine to Felicia Hart, where she fucking burns the shit out of Peter Parker. And she says, "You're a good dancer. I'm surprised." I thought that was funny.
Because he's a nerd ass.
He's a fucking nerd ass piece of shit.
That is also what Caitlin said to her husband at their first dance at their wedding.
Yep. I'm surprised.
Ryan?
I'm going to give this one to when Flash is confronting Peter. He says, and you repeat after me. And then he sees the drones attack, and he's like, ah. And then Peter's like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
That is good.
That was good.
Yeah, Peter didn't have a lot of good ones, so mine went to the random army dudes with the First Amendment's rights. We just amended them. But I am going to give... Guys, Ryan's going to get that one, too.
This is a shocking turn of events, Cassie.
Fucking shocking over here. Our next one is Kung Fu Grip, a.k.a. Best Move or Power. Caitlin, what do you got?
God, I was going to ask what this one actually meant, because I just have Kung Fu Grip for here. And I was like, I can't remember them gripping anything good.
Yeah, it's about how good they grip
When
things.
Hardy grabbed that dick.
Well, then I win.
Yeah, so because people's grip strengths weren't that good, I really just don't have a kung fu grip one on this episode.
Fair enough.
It's, so for the future, it means best move or power.
Yeah, now I got that.
Okay.
Mike, what do you got for it?
The spider rodeo.
Yeah.
Delightful. It was great.
Absolutely. Ryan?
Spider rodeo, Cassie. It was delightful and great.
It absolutely is the spider rodeo. Mike said it first, so Mike's getting that point. Our next award is I'm Walking Here, a.k.a. Most New York Thing. Ryan, what do you got?
There's a scene in the apartment after the party is broken up with all the first, what do you call them, responders. Mm-hmm. And there's a scene where in the foreground there's all these buff firefighters, and then they walk away to reveal all these fat cops. And I thought that just these buff soldiers of firefighting yellow jackets to reveal all these fucking and then there was 3 schlubby fat ass cops there, and that's New York to me.
That's my New York. Caitlin, what do you got?
I just have the fact that we think one person's running the show, like Norman's running everything, like the spider thing, and then there's someone else above him who's the kingpin over everything else. It's just like the tiers of all these things of people. I was like, oh, this is very New York mobster kind of esque.
Pyramid schemes.
Yeah.
I've never heard somebody trail off.
Yeah, Cassie, you know why you're a good host? You just sat there and let her go.
I didn't want to be rude and be like, I don't know how. So sometimes you gotta let them connect it for you, you know. And it always comes back to pyramid schemes. You gotta know that. Mike, what do you got for Most New York Thing?
You know what? I'm using this one twice. Foul ball coming through.
Yeah.
Crack of the bat, and then he says, "Tell me the Mets don't need me." Mets, New York baseball team.
That's what I got too, Mike, because it's very direct one. So you know the rules. Mike's getting that. That means Ryan and Mike are tied up just in time for our bonus award, which is mystery notes. Does anybody have any mystery notes?
I have, okay, Black Widow, more like Joker.
Yes! I have Black Widow falls into Joker acid.
Oh, okay. So Black Widow.
There it is.
Yeah, Black Widow falls and dies and leaves one arm up, and now I'm worried about Black Widow Joker coming to. Okay, so now I know what my note meant.
I have a bunch of different spelling of Alastair.
Okay, that's pretty.
I think Caitlin wins this one.
Yeah, I actually understand all my notes.
All right, so Caitlin's getting a point. That leaves this episode. I got no points. Caitlin got 1. Mike and Ryan, you tied with 2. You're sharing the win on this one. Congrats. You guys are friends. Yeah. You've done it.
Dubiously.
That is it for Spider-Man. But Mike, it's not it for the show because you have an interview.
It's not. A while back, I talked to Taylor and Katie Faust of the Sisters Assembled podcast. We're releasing this now. They just hit 100 episodes. We're very proud of them. Let's not try to lord it over them that we're about to hit 500 in a few weeks, guys. But it's a big deal. It's very cool. Their show's rad. So I interviewed them, and then I got to guest on their 100th episode. So right now, take it away, past Mike. Hey, guys. Mike here. So apparently we unfortunately lost those files, so you will not be hearing my interview with Taylor and Katie. But you should go check out Sisters Assembled. Just hit 100 episodes, and we'll have them back on later. Bye.
We are back from that interview.
Hello, Cassie. Thank you for having me.
I'm sorry, who is this?
My name is Pierre Ustinov.
Pierre Ustinov?
No, I'm just kidding. It's Ryan.
Fuck, Ryan. Dude, what? You can't do a transition like that on me? That was too surprising.
No, but what I was doing is I was so shocked by how great that interview was that it turned me into character actor from the 50s and 60s, Peter Ustinov, that I was so shocked by how good it was. Like, didn't Mike do a good job?
He did so good, and I fucking hate when that happens.
Honestly, that happens to me a lot. I'll be driving, and I'll hear like such a good Marin or other podcasts, and I'll turn into Peter Ustinov.
It's a curse you've always struggled with.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
I kicked a witch one time.
Don't kick
God,
a witch.
You can't fucking do that, Ryan.
I hate my least favorite thing about Ryan. He sees an old lady with a wart, and he's like, I'm gonna kick her. I'm like, buddy, you shouldn't. You know what happens.
Dude, 9 times out of 10, no repercussions.
Except that you're a monster who kicked an old lady with a wart.
One time out of 10, that wart flies off, and I did a good thing.
And it was just like a piece of grape.
Ew.
Piece of grape. A piece of grape.
Well, you guys, warts.
The way that Caitlin says piece of grape, should I kick her?
Maybe.
It's the end of the show before we start kicking Caitlin. We can't go on any
The
further.
traditional end of the show.
Got to get out before the urge comes on to kick Caitlin. So, Mike, can you please tell me about websites?
Popfilter.co is where you can go to get all the things that we produce. All the things we make are on popfilter.co. Throw a /Amazon on there, popfilter.co/Amazon. That is how you shop now, motherfucker. You're going to use that evil company? Why not help us out? Those are our websites.
Those are great websites. Love them. Ryan, we got another show on the network. Can you please tell the people about that?
Yes. Movie of the year is what we're working on right now. 1973 is the season. We have so many classic movies like Westworld and Sisters.
All the hits.
Caitlin, your favorite movie of all time is Westworld, and Cassie, yours is Sisters, and we've covered both of those.
That's crazy.
Wow, I love the movie.
This season was made for us.
Just tonight, we did the movie Robin Hood, which stars Peter Ustinov. Do you guys have Peter Ustinov impressions?
Does he play the hot fox?
He does not play the hot fox. He plays Prince James.
George.
PJ, Prince
he?
John,
Prince
the
John.
Cowardly Lion.
He
might sound a little something like this, Ryan.
Nope.
Oh,
Shut it down.
Oh no.
Shut it down.
They got you
if that's
turned
how
on.
you have to get into character, no. Shut it down. But listen to Movie of the Year. If you got to skip that episode because Ryan turns into that in it, I understand.
No.
There's
I don't
actually
do
a
that on that
shocking-
show, just on this
There's
show.
a shocking dearth of Peter Ustinov impressions on that episode.
So do actually check it out just to see the variety that they produce on that. Social media, Caitlin, tell me about it.
Just Instagram.
Fuck yeah.
At your pop filter, and then Blue Sky.
We're there.
Ski. Yeah.
We got it.
Mm-hmm.
We also got email contact at popfilter.co. Hell yeah, getting a thumbs up from Mike. It feels good right here.
I can't wait.
I so rarely get it. You so rarely get it. This is such a weird thing
Woo.
to
Guys.
see a thumbs up from Mike.
Oh man, so many things were done wrong this episode, but it's all fine because at the end I got a thumbs up from Mike. Woo! I'm gonna be fine tonight, and next week we'll see how it goes because it's Thanksgiving season on the finale of My Adventures with Superman. Plus, we're getting the return of I Am Groot. So we're going to get all of that in an all-new episode of the Superhero Show. That is it for tonight, though. For Mike, I'm Ryan. For Ryan, I'm Mike. For Caitlin, I'm me. And for me, I'm me. Bye, everyone.